confession to make. Hi guys, welcome back or welcome to my channel. My name is Michelle and your girl has been deep in a slump. And along the slump, sickness came and joined her. So it's been not a good reading month. That being said, for those who are not versed with the word slump, it's when you want to read but you don't have the urge. So they're struggling, should I read? Should I not? In the past, normally I will take the break, always, but at times when the slump is getting to a period that is too long, I will pick a book and some would work, some haven't worked. So here are a few books that I have read that helped me want to read more. And the first one is Legend by Mary Lou. This is a dystopian book. This follows June and Day. June and Day are from different spectrums of the society. June has more of a privileged life, living in the high society, while Day is an outlaw, living in the poor sector of this world. Also one night, their paths crossed when June's brother was killed and Day was framed. During the process of trying to catch Day, June and Day find out that there's much more sinister things going on in this society than what is being led on. The book is fast-paced. It is quite interesting. It is gripping. I think I read it in two sittings. It's been a while since I read a book either in one or two sittings, and that's how good it is. It has 3 more books in the series. I think I need to find them and finish them because it was just that much gripping. The second book is Trevor Noah, Born a Crime by Trevor Noah. I'm like, I know you're rolling your eyes. Non-fiction and you're in a slump. Yes, this book is written very beautifully. It's funny, it's inspirational, and it's also educational. You get to see what apartheid was like from the perspective of Trevor Noah, who was born a crime. I learned so much about South Africa, and then that led to me like reflecting about all the things that are common in all the African countries during this pre-colonial period. I can't believe that Trevor Noah created a word. Shad, the past tense of shit. I laugh at that scene, and I just wanted to keep on turning the pages. I think this is one of the books that made me fall in love more with non-fiction, and I would love to read more. I would say read this book. It's beautiful. I'm expecting Trevor Noah to write another book because he left me hanging. I would love for him to write another book, and so this one was amazing. The other book is No Way Back by Andrew Gross. I read this book and I was like, I need to read more from this author. This book follows 2 women, Wendy Gould and Lauritia Velez. Wendy had a disagreement with her husband a certain morning, and she was going out to like cool off, went to a certain hotel, met some sexy guy who there were chemistry going around, and she made the wrong decision. She went with the guy up in the hotel and crazy thing ensued. From then on, she was a woman on the run because there were certain people who wanted to kill her because she saw something that she wasn't supposed to see. The other side, Lauritia, who was a nanny, also saw things from the country she came from and was running away from these people who want to kill them. So these were 2 women in the same predicament who needed to find a way to get out of this situation. Otherwise, there will be no way back to their former life. It was fast-paced. It read like a freaking movie. I didn't want to move from my seat, and I'm so grateful that I read this time at that time because it got me out of a slump. I hope I will encounter more books from Andrew Cross because these are I bought from Inama. So those who are not versed with Inama, those are places around town where the vendors put the books down, so you have to literally bend for you to get the book. Usually a treasure trove. I've found so many books from that place, and that's where I've found so many books in my library. Cheap. If you have a tight budget, I think you should try them. The next book is The Bookshop on the Corner by Jenny Colgan. I'm a Jenny Colgan fan. Her books are really cozy, and I think there is, because of this formula, it's usually a girl who has hit rock bottom, then she tries to overhaul her life, either change of career, change of city, and then in the process she discovers so many things about herself. She discovers love. They usually involve either books or food or sweets. This by far is my favorite from Jenny Colgan, The Bookshop on the Corner. It follows Nina, who was a literary matchmaker until her librarian job was cut off. So she decided to buy a car, a big car if I remember correctly, which she had trouble driving, and went to a faraway country. I believe it's set in Ireland. There she met a very, very grumpy landlord who I think was a love interest. I think I need to read this book. It was so beautiful. It has also anecdotes about books. You know, I love books about books, and when they hit the spot, it's just so nice. When I read a Jenny Colgan book, I feel so cozy, I feel so relaxed. The books are hopeful because at the end, the main character finds her way back to life, finds love, finds fulfillment, and I think that is something that really amps my spirit and that I want to read more. So this is one of the books that helped me get out of a slump. The next book is The Fixer Upper by Mary Kay Andrews. I laughed during this book. I laughed, and I love when when I'm mad. Then I read a scene, and then I start laughing. Then the other person is looking like me. Are you crazy? I love that scene. So this one follows Dempsey, who was a lobbyist in Washington. But when her boss was caught in a political scandal, she loses her job. And given that she has nothing else to do, and that they found out that that inherited a certain house in Guthrie, Georgia, she decided to pack her bags and go back there, fix that house, as she tries to fix her life back on track. During the process, she meets a family member, a distant family member. There were a bit of wrangles, funny banter, and also she found love. And in the process, she gets to help the FBI catch the boss in compromising position. So it had a bit of mystery in that, and I love my mystery, I love my thrill. When they are mixed together along with romance, that's just perfect. After this, I picked up another book and I said bye-bye to the slump. The next book is I, Alex Cross. I know not all James Patterson books hit. I know I'm his fan, and I know that as a fact, but this one was definitely a page turner. This one follows Alex Cross. One of his relatives got killed, and he was really determined to find out what the hell happened. During the process, he found out that there's this elite group that does really diabolical things to girls, and one of the clients to this certain club is quite evil, let me just say that. So he's out to really catch him. He's really determined to do justice not only to the family member that was killed, but also other women who have been killed in the past. It is fast-paced. I was at the edge of my seat. I cannot tell you more because that will spoil the book. Yeah, that's the point of a thriller. This one is highly recommended. 5 stars, 5 freaking stars. The other series is V for Visa series. This is the 3rd book. It's a homegrown romance. It's interracial. It's beautiful. It's nice, and it follows Rain. It starts when she was going to the US embassy, the British embassy, to get a visa to go join her fiance in the UK, but things didn't turn out as she planned. But in the process, she piques the interest of a certain Caucasian male, and there's so much to the story. Book 1 was quite subtle, sweet, nothing steamy, but book 2, book 3, the books get steamy, and it's just nice. It's healing. You can see these 2 people who have flaws, who have insecurities, who have hurt from the past, trying to help each other along the journey, and in the process they fall in love. Oh my god, it's so amazing. For once, there's a book from Kenya or Africa that's just sweet, no struggles, no tough love, nothing like that. We're waiting on book 4. It's supposed to come on October, but yesterday I got a notification that the release date has been extended and my heart broke. I hope it's just the same year because I cannot wait for book 4. This one left us on a cliffhanger. This is a book that I can stand in front of the whole nation and say, read it. Unless the chat counts for me, because it has some steamy parts. It's just beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I like it for somebody who nowadays doesn't read concentrated romance, but I love my romance in other genres that I'm reading. That one is a book to watch out for. The next book is The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. Yeah, please continue rolling your eyes. This one, there's something about Brandon Sanderson. When he's building his world, there's no info dumping or something of the sort. It's 600 pages, but it's a bit fast-paced. They're following a group of people who are out to like create a revolution in a time when there's this leader who's out to create. Let me just read the blurb because I'm gonna lose you somewhere. For 1,000 years, the ash fell. For 1,000 years, the scarce lived in misery and lived in fear. For 1,000 years, the Lord Ruler reigned with absolute power and ultimate terror, divinely invisible. Every attempted revolt has failed miserably. Yet somehow hope survives. A new kind of uprising is being planned, one that depends on the cunning of a brilliant criminal mastermind and the courage of an unlikely heroine. A Scar Street urchin who must learn to master allomancy, the power of a mistborn. What if the prophesied hero had failed to defeat the Dark Lord? The answer will be found in the Mistborn trilogy, a saga of surprises that begins here. And the thing about this book, I love the banter. And when it comes to Brandon Sanderson, I love his commentary on religion. Can you hear the cuckoo? The cuckoo is chicken. So rudely interrupting me. Okay, finally the chicken has decided to go quiet. As I was speaking about this book, I love the characters. I love the commentary that Brandon Sanderson makes about religion, about power. I loved the love interest. I loved how the fight scenes and the thing about allomancy. It's not too complex. This coming out from a newbie adult fantasy reader. This is a book that you will enjoy. Considering that I read The Way of Kings, which I also loved, which was huge, double this size. It had quite a number of things going on. I would say start with this series when you're getting into Brandon Sanderson, and then go along. But this one I read it and I was like, I need to read more, if not from him, other books. The next book is Bloodstream by Tess Gerritsen. This is a thriller mystery. It follows a doctor who initially was living in the big city, but given the death of her husband and that she was raising a teenage, she felt it best to take the child and her practice to a remote small island in Maine, to keep the big bad city from the sun. But this was a futile act, because where she went to live during the winter, there was an outbreak of violence among the students of the school in which her son was going to. It led to some few deaths, but because the epidemic was becoming worse, she had to go find out what's going on, and it was a time crunch because things were getting more violent. And during the process, she developed some sparks or his love interest with the sheriff of the town, and I love that. I love my romance with my thriller again. I'm saying again, it was fast paced. The plot was quite intriguing and gripping. It was my first time reading a medical thriller in that sense. So I was finished and I was like, wow, I need more from her. I've read 2 books from her so far and I would love to read more. The thing about finding a series or a thriller writer from I cannot say the past, but from the earlier days, it's that we'll have quite a number of books to indulge in. So I know I have so much from her to read and I cannot wait. And the 10th book on this list is a book from Patricia Cornwell. Duh! I know you said duh, you're like, have fun. Yeah, I know her later books are not quite as good as her first books. This coming from a fan and from experience, but this is one of her earlier books, and it was quite freaking gripping. It follows the Dr. Kay Scarpetta, who is the main character in the Kay Scarpetta series. I found a girl in Central Park, covered in snow, naked, brutally mutilated, and in the process of doing the autopsy, Dr. Kay Scarpetta realizes this is the work of Temple Gold, her arch nemesis, and during the process of trying to capture this crazy man, quite a number of storylines regarding the characters is quite revealed. It is fast-paced. If you are the kind of people who are interested in serial killers, I know you're out there. I know you're out there. Temple Gold is a serial killer to watch out for. Fictionally, not in real life, not like the Zodiac killer. But during this book, quite a number of the characters' lives are really fleshed out. It feels quite real and vivid. The crime scenes are quite gory. If you are somebody who goes into a book for that kind of thing, and it was a book that really touched me, because when you later on the book find out why certain things were happening, you'll be like sitting down and just reflecting about your life, like So from the Kay Scarpetta series or from Patricia Cornwell, this is a book I highly recommend. You can read it as a standalone. There will be at some point where they will be talking about characters and a bit of their backstory, but that will not take away from the book. This is fast-paced, this is thrilling, this is creepy. You'll want to read more from her. Those are the 10 books that have helped me in the past to get out of a reading slump. And that being said, I am currently reading Stay by Ali Lankin. I know she has written a book which has been raved and ranted about, and I would also love to read about that, but this one follows the same formula as Jenny Colgan, a girl who is in love with a best friend whom she met in university, but back at home she had a female best friend, and during the process, best friend from home and best friend from the university screwed this plane, and during the process, Peter, the best friend from uni, and Jenny, the best friend from home, meet, fall in love, leaving Vanessa, the main character of this book, heartbroken. In the process, she drugs dial and gets a freaking dog who, frankly, to my point of view, really helped her through this phase. Before this happened, Savannah had lost her mom to her cancer, so she's not only dealing with the loss of both of her best friends, according to her, but also the loss of her mom. I really felt for her. She has so many things going on. There's something that she read, I was like, oh my god, seriously, let me just read it. Please, let me just read it. Okay. Years of lasting after Peter, thinking every part on the back or arm brush or knowing look meant surely he liked me as more than a friend, created a complete lack of faith in my ability to ever have anyone seriously fall in love with me. But a nice vet, sexy nice vet, cannot change that. So it's a hopeful book. It's a book about redemption. It's about a book about healing. It's a book about her coming from, from down there to up here. So I think it's kind of helping me. I'm reading it slowly, given that I'm not feeling too well. I have this recurring headache, so I'm really taking myself so slowly. And a bonus book is Olivia Jones and the Overactive Imagination. I laughed during this book. I read this book in August. I was feeling slumpy, but when after I read this, I managed to read, I think, 5 other books. So it was funny. I actually loved this book more than I did Bridget Jones' Diary. I found Bridget a little bit immature. But the main character in this book, Olivia, she is mature, she's funny. Aside from having an overactive imagination, I think that is something that she and I relate with. Helen Fielding had made commentary about terrorism, about religion, which I wasn't expecting from this book. I swear, I wasn't expecting. There's a tiny bit of mystery and thriller. Tiny bit. If you're a thriller reader, don't go into this book expect that it's thriller like James Patterson thriller. No, and it was easy to digest. It was really nice on me. I know as a reader, from time to time we go through a slump because of a number of reasons, and it's okay if you can't take a break. But if you feel like you really want to read something, or if it's your job to review books because you have to, just try something out of your genre or try something short. Even poetry works. I don't have much of poetry. Yeah, easy to digest poetry, not this poetry that you're like, I want to know the hell is the meaning of this book. I would love to know in the past what book you've read that helped you get out of a slump. And if you have reached this far in this vlog, thank you for watching. I tried to make it as short as possible because I have a recurring headache and I wanted to finish this as soon as possible. I hope you've been well. If you're new to this channel, I hope you will hit the subscribe button, and if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. And I hope you will get to read books that will bring you more pleasure, to take off the pressure of life. And I hope to see you in my next video. So bye.